Hello, viewers. Welcome to another fun-filled edition of Vinyl Fetish up here in the vinyl attic where it is hot. We've been having a heat wave across the planet Earth. I don't know if you heard about the global warming thing, but we've had several days above 100, and it's time to put the window AC unit in to keep this vinyl from melting. Hey, I've been waiting to do this episode. I want to do one. We're still doing our countdown of 100 albums that should be in your collection. This one is a long-awaited one. I've been sort of teasing it for a long time. We're going to talk about the first Harry Styles album. We're going to review it, and then stick around at the end, because I got a quick review of the new Wet Leg album, which is the thing everybody's talking about at the moment. And one of the reasons this one has been delayed is I can't find my vinyl copy of the 2017 Harry Styles album. I know it exists. I remember spinning it over and over again. It should be in the collection between Joe Strummer and the Style Council, and it's not there. So either it got misfiled or somebody has it, and I think I know who. So I'm just going to hold it here in my hand. Here it is. Here's my vinyl copy of Harry Styles' first album. And I want to talk about this record because for you older fans, you might be like, why do I want... This guy is like the number one pop radio guy. He's got the number one hit of 2022, and who cares about this asshole with the cute hair? I really didn't know anything about him. I knew he was in that One Direction group, which is one of those Simon Cowell boy band things, which is like, He was the one with like the big hair. And then he left and was going to put out a record, and like, oh, okay, whatever. He's interesting. And then when the record came out, I started hearing things. I started hearing like, hey, you love music. You might love this record. It's really good. And people whose opinion I pay attention to, including people that work in record stores, like, it's a pretty good record. Now, because, and this is something we're going to talk about at the tail end of this, because I was me and I associate him with a boy band, and serious musicians don't care about boy bands, I was at the record store, Music Millennium with Andy. I had the Harry Styles album in my hand, and I said, would you buy it? I'm too embarrassed among these elders of rock and music knowledge to walk up to the counter with the Harry Styles record like I was a 12-year-old girl. And she sort of looked at me and bought it, and we brought it home, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It was one of the best albums, certainly of this decade that we're in, where we just were in the 2010s, one of the best. Why? Because it has this sort of analog sound, and it is sort of referential without sounding old. The first single off of it, Sign of the Times, which isn't the Prince song, sounds like a freaking Elton John song. I was like, what is this boy band stuff? There is so much reference to the great music of the 70s. There's a song on there, Ever Since New York, that is straight up Badfinger. It's like a Badfinger record. My favorite track is on there is called Kiwi, which is just so glam rocky. It could be a T-Rex song. It could be something from 1972. And he does it with great affection and love, and not like, I'm stealing from the past, I'm posing retro, that it's really authentic. The way the songs sort of fit together, here's the ballad song, here's the real rock song. It's the way that albums used to be. Like, an album is a journey. Each song, they're not all supposed to sound alike and beat the same drum over. You're supposed to get a variety of emotions in an album. And this is like listening to a classic album from the old days. Where you're like, now I'm in love with this song. Oh, there's a song on side 2 that I'm just sort of now picking up on. Oh, each song was sort of an emotional journey, and it has this beautiful analog sound to it. And it is just so good. And it was followed up by his second record, Fine Line, which had the Watermelon Kisses. And his new record, Harry's House, is burning up the charts as we speak. Just like this summer. It is proof that you can pay homage to the past and what was good about the past without just sort of imitating the past and it being kind of like a fake retro, oh, this is an 80s record or this is a 70s record. It is authentic. The guy is talented. I know he works with other songwriters. The guy that produced it, Mark Basker, had worked with Kanye West, but maybe more telling, had worked with Uptown Funk guy, the little fellow from Hawaii. Bruno Mars, right, Bruno Mars. So it's got some talent behind it, and it's just a really great record through and through. And I have to tell you, people always complain about pop music. Oh, pop music now isn't like the way it was, and there's a lot of crappy pop music in the past. Remember, Ooga Chaka, Ooga Chaka. I'm not sure that we'll be listening to Machine Gun Kelly or Doja Cat 30 years from now, but I'm willing to bet we'll be listening to Harry Styles records 3 years from now. They will be on the classic channel, and we'll be like, oh, remember As It Is? Oh, remember that watermelon? Yeah. So it's really good. But what I wanted to talk about, so it should definitely be, and it sounds so great on vinyl. The vinyl packaging is really nice, and it sounds so warm. People always talk about vinyl sounding warm. This particular album sounds really warm on vinyl, especially with sort of the peaks and the valleys of the sonic journey that it takes you on through the rock and through the ballads and, oh, tell me something I already know. Is that how it goes? But what I wanted to talk about, even more than how great this record is, and it should definitely be in your collection, don't be afraid to buy it. Why? Why is it that music that's associated with teenage girls is devalued? I didn't want to buy it because he was in One Direction, and that's like a girl band, and gee, what do teenage girls know about music? So therefore, it gets devalued because when I was a young person, there were some teen idols like Sean Cassidy and Leif Garrett, and we hated them because if girls like it, it must be shitty. And that music was pretty shitty. I heard the Sean Cassidy version of Do Run Run the other day. It's pretty crappy. But you know what? Another band that teenage girls really went crazy over? A little group called the Beatles. Teenage girls went nuts. Beatlemania. They were screaming. Turns out they were right. Sometimes those teenage girls know what's going on. Just because they're young and female, we tend to devalue their opinion. And I was guilty of that. I think that's sexist. I think it's misogynistic just to be like, well, what do you know? You're only a 13-year-old girl. You can't possibly know what's good in music. I know what's good. I have a Genesis album. I think I'd probably rather have Sean Cassidy than Genesis, to tell you the truth. Don't tell anybody that. So it's an interesting thing about how we devalue or how we think less of music because teenage girls, and sometimes that, some of those old Bay City Rollers records that we used to make fun of, they sound great now. They're like glammy early 70s, SAT, listen to Money Honey by the Bay City Rollers. It's off the hook. It's really, really good. And I bet Harry Styles probably has some Bay City Rollers in his collection. So I want us serious music people, not to have the knee-jerk reaction that just because teenage girls love it or it's a teen idol thing, that somehow it must be crap. Sometimes it is. Sean Cassidy, total crap. O-Town, that was crap, remember that? Harry Styles ain't crap. This is the good stuff. This is the Elton John for the Zoomer generation. This guy is going to be around for a long time. I think it's a great album, and it deserves to be in your collection. All right, so next time we're going to have another album that is a lot less known than Harry Styles, and it's a record that I play every summer. It is a undiscovered classic of the late 70s. Our next album that we're going to get into is an album by a group called City Boy and The Day the Earth Caught Fire. Perfect album to break out in the middle of a heat wave. We'll be doing that one next time. Okay. Part 2 of this. This is my Yoko Ono t-shirt when I saw Yoko Ono in Brooklyn, 2010, with the Plastic Ono Band, Eric Clapton on guitar. Is the debut album by Wet Leg. This is an English duo, and they are burning up the chat box. Everybody's talking about them. I had a little bit of money to burn, and I wanted some new vinyl, and I love the song Shay's Lounge, and this is my new favorite record. This is sort of the clever music of 2022. These two women have lots of songs about buttering muffins and who gives you a right to think about me when you touch yourself, and really clever lyrics. It kind of reminds me of Courtney Barnett when she came out, and we were just all sort of intoxicated by her clever wordplay. The clever wordplay is here. And also, the music is kind of lo-fi, like it reminds me a little bit of Le Tigre, Kathleen Hanna's band After Bikini Kill, and the package is really nice. Okay, so here we are. I got it. I was going to get the Smile album, the new Radiohead album, which is called The Smile. It's not Radiohead, but it is Radiohead. But it was $50 on vinyl. So my second choice was Wet Leg, and the packaging is really great. First of all, kind of like you expect it now. Nice colored vinyl. I don't know when the last time I got an album that was on black vinyl. Don't they know there's an oil embargo? Cool packaging, the lyrics, all the really funny lyrics. I mean, these lyrics are really cute and clever. You get a download, so you can have it on your laptop or on your phone, and it's just a really cool record. I think this will be on a lot of best of 2022 lists at the end of the year. I think the song Shays Lounge is already kind of like the sound, the like underground. Not that Beyonce is going to take all the pop stuff, like Beyonce's new album is going to dominate everything. But as far as like the underground sound and what the cool kids are listening to, it's all about Wet Leg. And I know they're touring in the United States this summer. That's happening again. English bands touring in the United States, and I would definitely check it out. It's my new favorite record, Wet Leg, duo from England. Two chicks that just are very, very clever with their music, and it's just endlessly entertaining. All right, that's my mini review of Wet Leg and good old Harry Styles. This record, all this music matters. These records matter. Wherever you are, Harry, I'm totally going to find it. I'm totally going to find it after I get this thing all edited. Anyway, it all matters. You matter. Subscribe, like, and stay hydrated.